The proposed contract with MSP Transportation. Mr. Whitaker and I met with Falls on Wednesday, June 6th to discuss the contract, and the summary was included in your packet. As you see, there was just a minimal increase in the contract and nothing more than we have customarily seen over the years. So at this time, I would ask the board to approve the extension of MSP Transportation to serve as the district's transportation contractor for the 2012-13 school year.
So,
Any discussion?
that's just for 1 year.
Yes. They are only for a year unless we have interest of anyone else that would like to bid on it, or if we decide to go to bids. If you recall, the last time we bid, we had one interested party that did not even submit a bid. It's kind of hard with 4 routes for anybody like Laidlaw to really want to come in and run 4 daily routes for the district. So, but we made good.
Anyone else? If not, Bailey? Hessler?
Yes.
Isaac?
Yes.
Tuttle?
Yes.
Arbuckle?
Abstain.
Davis is yes.
The next item would be the Paris Cooperative High School budget. And as you know, each year, both full boards, Unit 4 and 95, who are part of the co-op, have to approve the preliminary budget for Mr. Meister here at Cooperative High School. Dave is here this evening. You'll see our costs went up some because it goes up based on enrollment. So our enrollment increased, so there's where you're going to see an increase, but you've made other budgetary cuts even this year. I noted that the board feel free to ask any questions. I am going to ask that you approve the proposed budget for the Cooperative High School for the 2012-13 school year, but if you have questions, Mr. Meister would be glad to answer them.
How many more students, Dave, do we have?
It's not so much a number of increase in students, it's a change in the ratio of students.
That's Crestwood.
Crestwood has a smaller ratio of students. And, we saw the opposite happen last year where Crestwood's bill went up $100,000 and 95 went down, 100,000 and 95 went down, approximately 105,000. This year it's the opposite effect, just simply because of the ratio of students. The overall budget is about $20,000 less than it was a year ago. We put in contingencies for increase in health benefits. We're kind of doing that in the dark right now, looking at maybe a 5 to 6% increase in those costs. And I've also put in a 5% increase in utility costs, which we have not seen those bear out the last 2 years. We're hoping they don't again this year, but it's always kind of important to put those in there. I've done everything I can to try to slice it down to what it is we actually spend. We're getting closer each year. Hopefully that this one will be about right on what we spend. That's what we're shooting for. We don't want to have excess, and we don't want to overspend as well.
Do we have a motion to approve? Any discussion? If not, Bailey?
Yes.
Hessler?
Yes.
Isaac?
Yes.
Tuttle?
Yes.
Arbuckle?
Yes.
Davis is yes.
And we also would like to amend the current school calendar. We're just wanting to add a waiver, another day off of our waivers for staff development. When we initially passed the first calendar, legislation was out there. We thought it would pass where students had to attend the first full day of school. Teachers could not work in their classroom as per our teacher contract. That legislation did not go through, so that left us with only 1 half day of workshop for our teachers. So we'd like to add that one back. Carol is not here this evening. She had a conference, but she had come and requested, and I think all the building administrators as well as staff would like to add that half day back. It doesn't really change the overall calendar other than the half day, and Balls assured us it would just be for our K-8. It does not affect Crestwood, it does not affect the high school, and it will not affect our transportation as far as increasing costs or anything. So I would ask the board approve the revised 2012-13 calendar.
So moved.
Any discussion? If not, Bailey?
Yes.
Hessler?
Yes.
Isaac?
Yes.
Tuttle?
Yes.
Arbuckle?
Yes.
Davis is yes.
Okay, the last thing then to bring before the board would be appointment of a board member. As you know, Ms. Furnish accept her plaque. She did officially give us a letter on May 7th that she was resigning from the board. That was after the board meeting, so of course that could not be acted on that evening. But we took that as her official date of resignation. So we followed board policy, immediately posted in the Beacon, and interviewed for that vacancy. So there is a recommendation tonight to recommend that the board approve the appointment of John Sanchez to fill the board vacancy until the next election, which would be in April of 2013.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? If not, Bailey?
Yes.
Hassler?
Yes.
Ister?
Yes.
Tuttle?
Yes.
Arbuckle?
Yes.
Davis is yes.
And that is when Sue's term would have been out. She was on a 2-year term, and she filled 1 year of that term. But then I guess you will do the oath of office.
John? We're even so nice we give you a cheat sheet. Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, John Sanchez,
You solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of member of the Board of Education of Parish Union School District Number 95
I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of member of the Board of Education of Parish Union School District 95
in accordance with the Constitution of the United States,
in accordance with the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the laws of the State of Illinois to the best of my ability.
and the laws of the State of Illinois to the best of my ability.
I further swear that
I further swear that
I shall respect taxpayer interest by serving as a faithful protector of the school district assets.
I shall respect taxpayers' interest by serving as a faithful protector of the school district's assets.
I shall encourage and respect free expression of opinion by my fellow board members and others.
I shall encourage and respect the free expression of opinion by my fellow board members and others
Who seek a hearing before the board
who seek a hearing before the board
while respecting the privacy of students and employees.
while respecting the privacy of students and employees.
I shall recognize that a board member has no legal authority
I shall recognize that the board member has no legal authority
as an individual and that decisions can be made only by a majority vote at a public board meeting.
as an individual, and that decisions can be made only by majority vote at a public board meeting.
And I shall abide by majority decisions of the board
And I shall abide by the majority decisions of the board
while retaining the right to seek changes in such decisions through ethical and constructive channels.
while retaining the rights to seek changes in such decisions through ethical and,
Constructive.
excuse me,
Okay.
constructive channels.
John, congratulations.
Thank you.
We should surprise
This is the greatest setup tonight. We'll put you
DNA
right,
testing.
we'll put you between the two Toms. How
Okay,
about that?
that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Actually, that would be the last item on the agenda. I just want to make a comment that the architects are here this evening for the Paris Cooperative High School Board meeting, and they will be going over the schematic designs and getting approval for those this evening. They'll be answering questions, and we've asked anybody to attend and the public to attend that's interested, so it should be a pretty informative meeting for people. So that's the end of the superintendent.
Do you have any committee reports this afternoon? Public hearings and petitions, unfinished business, matters for follow-up, new business, right to revert to prior order of business. Do we have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Bailey? Hassler?
Yes.
Isaac?
Yes.
Tuttle?
Yes.
Arbuckle?
Yes.
Sanchez?
Yes.
Davis is yes, we are adjourned.